Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are talking about IELTS. IELTS is International English Language Testing System. It tests all four language skills. That's listening, reading, writing, and speaking. It is intended for people who want to study or work in an English-speaking country. All right? So there are two versions of the test. You should remember the academic and the general test module. The academic module is for those who want to study or train in an English-speaking university. University admission to undergraduate or postgraduate courses is based on the results of the academic test. There is a general test. The general module is mainly for those who are going to English-speaking countries to do secondary education, get a job, and focuses on basic survival skills in social and workplace environments. The speaking test is the same for both the academic and the general training modules. So this booklet is appropriate for candidates preparing for either of the two versions of the IELTS exam. The speaking test consists of a discussion with an examiner and lasts for about 11 to 14 minutes with 3 parts. In part 1, candidates have to answer personal questions about themselves and their families. In part 2, they have to speak about a topic, and in part 3, they have a longer discussion on the same topic. Now let's go down to the format of IELTS, right? How IELTS is formatted. So as we discussed, there are two modules or versions of IELTS. One is the academic module and the other one is the general modules, right? So for the academic modules, that's used for entry to undergraduate or postgraduate studies or for professional reasons. The general training modules for entry to vocational or training programs, not at a degree level, for admission to secondary school and for immigration purposes, right? So the format will go like this. Let me talk to you that the total test time is 2 hours and 44 minutes, and these 2 hours 44 minutes are divided across the skills, right? Listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So the first thing, when you enter the class, all right, when you set for the exam, the first thing you would do, if you're doing it paper-based or computer-based, no problem. Yeah, in both of these different modes, you can do it. All these 4 skills, right? They will be the same, not very different from each other, right? Okay. The module will be listening, reading, writing, and speaking, and the questions will be, this way. Put it this way. The number of questions, all right, and the number of sections here, and then the time appropriate for each skill is like 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 60 minutes. You can see here, all right, and 11 to 14 minutes, 60 minutes. Yeah, that's for different skills. You have to complete the skill within the time frame, because IELTS is a time management testing, all right? How you manage the time and how you can, complete the tasks inside the time given to you, right? Okay, now let's see listening. This will be 4 sections and 40 items, 40 questions will be there to be answered, right? The approximate time will be 30 minutes, and the type of questions will be multiple choice questions, short answer questions, sentence completion questions, notes, form, table, summary, flowchart, completion, labeling, diagram, map, plan, classification, and matching. All right? Yeah, this would take 30 minutes. You have to finish it within 30 minutes. Remember that listening will not be repeated. All right? You don't have the second chance to, listen. All right? So this is one time. Whenever you have a problem, you feel like it's difficult, right? And then you don't have to, stay on one question for a long time, because you will lose touch with the rest of the questions, and you will not be given a second chance to do it, right? So this is very tricky. You have to be very careful about the time management and doing things within the given time, right? So there, for each question, you can divide, like for each item, 30 minutes, 40 items, 30 minutes. So for each one, that's the time given, like 1.5 minutes or 1 minute and 15 seconds kind of thing. So in 1 minute you have to finish it. Not in 1 minute. That should be less than 1 minute. You have to finish, less than 1 minute. Yes, of course, less than 1 minute. 75 seconds you have to finish the item. Okay, answering the question, right? Remember the different types of question types you should be familiar with your during your practice. Okay. Now the second one is the academic reading, and the academic reading is divided into 3 sections, and there are 40 items, 40 questions. 60-minute time is given, and you have to finish this within this 1 hour. Yeah, answering the questions. The different kinds of questions, will be asked. That will be multiple choice questions, short answer questions, sentence completion, notes, form, table, summary, flow chart completion, labeling a diagram, map, plan, classification, matching, choosing suitable paragraph headings. Then there is another one, identification of the author's views. That means inference. Yes, no, not given, true, false, not given kind of questions will be asked. Okay, you should be familiar during your practice time, all right, during your preparation, all right, about the reading types questions. The academic reading and then the general training reading. If you are taking this, okay, you will be sticking to this, all right. You will be given the academic reading. If you are taking the general training, then you will be given the general training, right? Both of them are the same here, right? 60 minutes time, 3 sections, 40 minutes, 40 questions, and the questions types are the same, right? There is no difference. Coming to the academic writing, okay? So there will be differences between the 2 versions, the academic writing and the general training writing, okay? The academic writing consists of 2 tasks. It's the same. And the general training also consists of 2 tasks, okay? But the tasks are different. Task 1 is different, all right? 60 minutes, no problem, all right? Now let's look. Task 1 in the academic reading, you should remember that in the academic reading, task 1 is, you can say here, task 1, okay? In the academic reading, that's 150 words, and there is 20 minutes time for this, okay? Candidates have to look at a diagram, a chart, or a graph and present the information in their own words, right? So this means a kind of a report writing, and it's more or less a statistical, right? You have to present the information statistically. For this kind of task, you need a preparation. You need the understanding of how you will build the contents, right? It's different, right? It's a sort of a different writing. It's just like a report writing, okay? The second task is task 2, and the number of words you have to write is 250. If you write more, no problem, but you should not write less, okay? Less than this number. 40 minutes time is given to you. Both of these tasks will be given to you like, in one paper, right? Sometimes people spend more time on the task 1 So this is not a good idea, okay? This is not good, because you need more time to be given here to task 2. Task 2 is a bit complicated. It's an essay, right? 5-paragraph essay. You have to build it. There are different sort of essays. During your preparation, you need to understand what are the different kinds of essays and what are the requirements the examiners will be checking or testing or assessing when you write, okay, on a piece of writing. So in task 2 is the same here, okay, and here it's the same. But task 1 is different in the academic writing and in the general training writing. The academic writing, it's a report writing, and in the general general training writing, it's letter writing, okay? there will be a problem, and the problem will need a solution, and you will write a letter to a person, to an individual, or to a company, or to a newspaper, or to any sort of institutions, for example, and you will sort out the problem. For this, you need also a very good preparation, that how you start, because there are 3, 4, 5 different areas. You have to be very well familiar. You need to be well familiar with writing these different the aspects of letter writing, because this is a very professional and formal writing. Okay, it's not very, of course there is in this task 1, sometimes they ask you to write informally, and sometimes they ask you to write formally. So for both the formality and informality of the language, you have to understand, right? This is task 2. So task 2, that's the academic writing and general training writing. Both of them have 2 tasks, okay? And 2 tasks are like testing your writing ability, your language ability, your accuracy, your cohesion and coherence. All of these things are tested, right? Okay, you are given a topic and you write on it. So task 1 of the academic writing is different from task 1 of the general training writing. Okay, all right. Task 2 is almost the same, no problem. Okay, that's essay writing here and essay writing here, right? Okay, now we're coming to the last one. That's the speaking test. Speaking test is testing your ability to communicate, to express your views, your ideas fluently, right? The more you are communicative, the more you will be successful. In this, you have to be very accurate, appropriate, and at the same time, you have to follow the rules of the pronunciation properly, right? So for this, you need a thorough exposure to listening and speaking. And during your preparation, you have to focus on the, improving your spoken English, right? Okay, this would take 11 to 14 minutes, and there will be 3 parts in it. 3 parts, okay? Part 1 will be very easy. It will not be very difficult. It's just a personal introduction with the examiner, right? And then there is part 2. In part 2, there will be a topic given to you, and you would think about it for a minute or 2. All right, and then you will prepare. That means a preparation time 2-3 minutes, 2 minutes, or not more than 2 minutes sometimes, okay? And then you start speaking on it, okay? The examiner may ask you questions inside, this part, all right? And then you will be answering, okay? Part 3 is a sort of, an extended conversation, kind of an extended talk, okay? The examiner may give you a sort of a topic. This may be the topic may result out of the part 2, and it will be discussed in with more elaboration in part 3. You have to speak on it for a long time, okay? And this is the area where the examiner is listening to you to understand tape recording your voice, okay, your talk, to make sure that you can communicate extensively on different, on a topic with so different, ideas about the topic. All right. So the total time it will be taken for your test, for example, you will be assessed. You will sit in the exam hall. That's 2 hours and 44 minutes. Okay. 2 hours and 44 minutes. That means minus the 14 minutes of the speaking skill, because speaking skill is tested. That is tested separately, right? These 3, listening, reading, and writing, will be tested during one session. And for speaking, there will be a separate session, or an appointment will be made with the British Council, or before that means during the time of your registering yourself, you will specify the day timing which is available, and then you will be tested. Your speaking will be tested on that day at the time you have specified, right? Okay, so this was about the IELTS, which I wanted to share with you. and I hope this is